Hello and welcome to my second tutorial about Machinima Studio. In this tutorial I'd like to talk about scenes. There are a few different ways how you can create a new scene. Easiest way is of course just go to File, New Scene, and as you can see it will open up a new tab with your new scene. Second option would be navigating to any model file, right click for the context menu and open the model in a new scene. There we go. Third option would be to preview a model, and once you think, okay, that's a good model to create a new scene, just click on Open in New Scene, and as you can see we have now 3 open scenes. Of course you can also load up existing scenes, just go to File, Load Scene, or just navigate to recent scenes that you've loaded up in the past. So as you can see, we have now 4 open scenes. We can switch back and forth between them and edit them at the same time. So for every scene we have our scene editor panel that will display all available objects that are in the scene. So we've got effects, we've got audio files, we've got cameras, lights, and most important, we've got models. So for every object in a scene, we have different properties that we can set. So once you select a scene object, as you can see, the properties will change. So let's go to an audio file, and as you can see, we have different properties that will show up. Okay, so you can select the files through the scene editor, or there's also a drop-down on top of each scene. For models there is also a second property panel which allows you to set model-specific settings such as the animation, skins, and lighting effects. The more open scenes you have, the more memory Machinima Studio uses, so just go to any scene and click close when you don't need it any longer to free up some memory. So let's close all our scenes except this one, and this is an empty scene now that we will fill with different models and other stuff. So first thing, when you create a new scene you can set the background color. So let's switch it to green, and you can also set a background image if you like. So you can enable, disable the image, and yeah, just use the background you'd like for your scene. Next thing would be to add some models to our scene. So let's navigate to Dungeons and open up a model. Let's preview it first. Okay, that's the one we would like to use, and just add it to the scene. And as you can see, we have now 1 model in our scene. We can place it, and let's zoom in a bit. Let's switch to our camera, and yeah, just select the position we would like for our first scene. Okay, that looks pretty okay. And yeah, that will do. Okay, so still pretty boring. Let's add another model. So this time we will add a model from the scene editor. Right click on models, add World of Warcraft models. We would like to add a creature, and I'd like to add a ogre. Okay, let's preview the ogre. This one looks pretty okay, and add it to the scene. So now we have two models in a scene. For every model you have different tools such as rotating, scaling, and positioning. So positioning, you can, as the name says, just position the model in the scene, rotating on every axis, and scaling, make it smaller, bigger, and just place it in the scene with these three tools. So let's place the ogre on this spot, make it a bit bigger, like that. Okay, that looks good. Our scene is still pretty boring, so let's add another model. This time we will import a custom model from File. Let's select a custom audio player we have on our hard drive and place it again in our scene. As you can see, we can also import models from files, so we don't have to use only the files from our plugins. So if you have any custom X model or wavefront files, you can import them into any existing scenes. Okay, let's position the stereo a bit better. That will do. Okay, so next would be to add a model from a different plugin. So at the moment we have two World of Warcraft models and we have a custom model from our hard drive. I'd like to load a model from StarCraft. So let's search for some StarCraft models. This one looks pretty good, and add it to our scene. So now we have models from different games mixed into one single scene. And this is pretty powerful. So you can add any models from any games to the same scene. Let's add another model. Let's press some traffic lights. And you can also add it from the model browser, directly add it to the scene. Okay. Every single model in a scene can be cloned. So if you would like to have 2-3 ogres, just select the ogre, click clone, and as you can see, we have a copy of the same ogre. For this ogre we would like to change the skin a little, so let's change it to, I don't know, maybe some reddish skin. Okay, that will do. And the animation we will set to a dance animation. The first ogre, we would like to change the animation also to a other dance animation. Okay. So next we would like to set some different cameras. So we go to our scene editor and add a new camera. Every camera can have its own position, its own field of view. So let's place this camera in front of the dancing ogres. And as you can see, we can now switch back and forth between the cameras. Let's add another one from a total different angle. So let's place this one in the back. And yeah, just let's place it here. So we can now switch between all the cameras and record our scene from different angles. We can also add some effects. So in this case, let's add some pulsating effect. Let's change some properties, maybe make it a bit stronger, and oh, that's too strong, maybe a bit slower now. Okay, that will do. Once we've finished our scene, we'll just save it to a file, give it a name, and we can share it with friends or open it anytime later. Thanks for watching and be sure to check out other tutorials. Thanks.